A very powerful feature of Figma is that you can immediately view and interact with the prototypes that you have created. This feature is very easy to use, and these lessons will show you how to get there. First, let's do some very basic interactivity. So let's select our splash screen and say that we want our splash screen to move into the next screen, the overview screen. So we'll tap the splash screen, and then we will set the prototyping tab over here. So normally it would be on design if you click it, and then click the prototyping tab. Now you see that there's a little ball popping up here, and we can click and drag this ball to another screen. So just click and drag, and when the overview screen is selected, you will just let go. Now we have set our very first transition, and if we click the play button on the top right here in Figma, the prototype will load, and this prototype is being displayed within a sort of iPhone mocking simulator to make it look like it is really working on a phone. You will see that the mouse cursor changes into this large ball, and we can click, and now it will move to the next screen. But what we want, of course, is it to be maybe automatic, since it is a splash screen. So when we have the splash screen selected, we can change the interaction settings here. So now it's an on tap, so as soon as I click or touch my finger, it would move. But let's say we want to do this after a short delay. So let's say we want to do this after 1500 milliseconds. We want it to navigate to the overview page, and we want this to be a dissolving matter, so it slowly fades into the new screen. We'll choose the ease in and ease out, and we'll make it, say, a full second, so 1000 milliseconds, which is okay for now, just to see how it works. So now if we would restart the entire prototyping screen, we can press the R button on our screen, as noticed here in the bottom right. And now after the defined milliseconds, you will see the transition to the list page. Now what we can do is add an interaction to go from our list overview to the detail page. And of course we can drag this ball again, but we're not going to do that because we don't want people to be able to click anywhere on the screen and go to this one. No, we want people to be specifically clicking on a single recipe in order to go to the next screen. Now the tricky part here is that we have already started using components, and I will just go through it, and then in the end I will change some things just to let you know how this works. So let's define all these interactions to go to the next page. And if you deselect, then you will see the little arrows pointing to the next page, so you can also see where the interactions come from. Now if we restart our demo again, we'll see that first smooth transition to the list page. And now if we click anywhere outside of the screen, you will see the tappable areas lighting up in blue. So I can now click this one, and now I will be I'll be moving to that detail screen. I can just press the left arrow on my keyboard to go back. Try the next one. Try the next one. As you can see, they all work, but they do not show the specific recipe. That is because the page in our design is only designed like this, so only with this specific image. That is something to keep in mind when you're designing things. But also now we had to specifically make these interactions work for all these separate components. And since we are using a single component, we can also define that animation once and then use it on all our components. So let's do that. So I'm going to remove all these interactions that we have now. You can just click the ball, click and drag. You see a small cross appearing. Then you can let go, and then it is removed. So we're going to select our master component, click and drag, move it into the detail page. We're going to shortly change some animations here. Let's just set it to instant. Actually, this is fine. And now if we select our components, you would have expected that the transition line would be there, but it's not there yet. And that is because we have overridden these component instances with our own settings. We've already added an image of our own and some text. So we need to reset our instances. So let's quickly select all our instances, right click, and choose Reset Instance. We will lose our images that we had before. That's okay for now. So let's just quickly redo our images. Plugins, Unsplash. Let's add some new food. All right. And let's add some new recipe names as well while we're at it. So let's use the Lorem Ipsum plugin, auto generate. All right, so now we have some new recipes. So as you can see now, because we set this interaction on the component, it will automatically appear for all our component instances. So now if we go to our page again, we can use it, press the left arrow to go back, on all the different component parts. So let's do the same for the back button. And the back button is something special because if we are on the detail page, we want the user to be able to go back to the previous list. And what we can do, we can move it, of course, the ball to this page. But maybe we want to use this header in different screens as well. So we're going to use a different technique here. We're going to click and drag on the arrow and then move it to this blue back button that is over here. And that indicates that it will always go back to the previous page where that new one came from. It is automatically applied to our component since we did not override any settings on this component. So now we can really navigate through our app. We can use the back button. And we have some very basic but very nice navigation elements implemented in our prototype.